Okay, back to my mall inside of the mountainside. For those who might remember, I left off in my last video with this minecart ride. We can do that again here if you wish. So, to remind everyone here, I want to express our need of help with our GoFundMe page that I've created, a campaign. And a big update, I guess, to share is that we're still in need there. We're still having difficulties with housing, but the big update is that my wife and I have begun a separation. The big intent being for personal growth for the two of us. We've had some issues of, I guess, codependency, and it's something that we both are trying to learn and grow through. And the whole idea... Come on. Nope. Okay. Whatever. So the whole idea is that we both come out stronger, better versions of ourselves. Whatever that looks like for us in the future, if we are together or not. So here is a nice little restaurant. You have a nice little check-in with all the different seating. Of course, every restaurant has to have some bathrooms that are not filled in at all, because I hardly ever finished and like anything that I begun in Minecraft, and really in a lot of things in life. And that's one of the issues I have with my neurodivergence, my ADD, my whatever other issues like that, which translates a lot into other areas of my life. So, what are our needs right now then, if we are going through this separation? Well, we still have our needs. We're still having financial issues. This is a security office. I guess someone can sleep there. I didn't put it there. But like, my wife got some hotel vouchers. I'm walking around in the middle of the night because I wasn't able to find a place to sleep. I didn't want to pay the hotel prices on a weekend, and that's a choice. It's also an issue I have, where I typically am okay with going through misery, because I think it's a better alternative to spending money. Okay. Here's this bridge that you saw in the previous video. So here is an example of our needs, though. So with this separation, our kids are with my wife, and I'm alone, which, pity me, whatever, I don't care. But the point is, I care greatly for my wife and my kids, and I want the best for them. I'm trying hard to find employment. My goal is sure to find a place for myself, but I want to take care of them still. I want to send money their way, and to give them what they need, or what they need, even though my wife is determined to do the same herself. But my wife has the van. We only ever had one vehicle at the time, and anyway, that vehicle has issues, and that was a big I guess contentious, difficult situation in certain parts of our marriage. So essentially, there was a time where we were living in Florida. We needed a better family vehicle. This is actually when we were getting ready to move from Florida. We were planning on coming back to Utah, but we needed a better vehicle, and we were planning on moving across the state, or the states, mostly in that one vehicle. But what that meant is I had to go out of our way to find the right vehicle. So I got a personal driver to drive me clear out to Orlando. There were only 2 vehicles that fit our budget and our likes, both in the same city. One was at a dealership, and one was a personal seller on Marketplace. The dealership, of course, was going to be more expensive. It was an older model and was a lower trim. The private seller, newer. I believe it was a 2021, whereas the dealership was like a 2016, I think it was. And it was a fully equipped, every bell and whistle, and we were afraid of trying the dealership because dealerships can screw you over. It has a warranty. Well, yeah, can you trust warranties? Because some companies don't honor them, or the insurance companies care more about their money than actually helping their customers a lot of the time. And so ultimately I got that driver to take me all the way out there to look at the one van that was the private seller. Right off the bat, she was very busy, very pressed on time. I had very little time to look at the vehicle and to make a decision, and I felt very pressured. We needed this vehicle. It had been so long till we even found those listings, and here I am after like an hour drive or more just to see this vehicle. And I did a little test drive around some little neighborhood streets. It seemed to drive okay, but some parts felt weird, but I haven't driven a vehicle that big in a while. And also Ford, I know that Ford pickup trucks drive different than others. Like I don't like their brake feel, and so I wasn't sure. Well, I finally just say, okay, it's good, even though I wanted more time, but we needed a freaking vehicle. And so I didn't want to spend more money on the other one. Well, long story short, I give her the $18,000 to buy this vehicle. She leaves. I hop in the van. I pull off onto the first main road, and immediately there's something wrong. Sorry. Car. I'm hearing a car. Why? Because I'm outside in the middle of the night. Yeah. So this van has something wrong with it, and it was, it had some codes. It had check engine light. The lady was just saying, oh, it just needs an oil change. Well, it drove really weird, and ultimately I took it to some places, and the transmission was shot. And so this vehicle that I bought for our family was going to cost us $10,000 to put in a new transmission. Sure, we could have had it rebuilt, and it would have saved us maybe $2,000, but this was a 10-speed transmission, which I also didn't know. I didn't know that this vehicle had that, because if I had gone for that dealership one, it had a 6-speed, which is old and reliable. But I chose the one that had more bells and whistles, that was newer, and I wish I had known that I had that transmission, because I think I would have had apprehensions, because I've heard, things. But anyway, we fixed the transmission and all that, but there are still issues. It has a bad oil leak. I think it needs more spark plugs, because I think the oil is seeping into the spark plugs and causing misfires, and that the cooling fan one of the fans is broken, so the AC doesn't work very well, and We have some tires that are leaking there and flat, and it's I felt that it's very reflective on, my marriage, and that the decisions I make, all with the thoughts of saving money, just backfire, and it shows my priorities not being in line with what our family actually needs, and which, again, that goes somewhat into why the separation. But the point is, right now, I want my wife and kids to have their needs met. They need a vehicle that's not broken, and that's what I've given them is a vehicle that is broken, and they need something better. And that's where your help, donating, sharing the GoFundMe page, this video, getting more people to view it, to hopefully pass on to the GoFundMe as well, would be very appreciative. I'd be very thankful for all of that. I hope you enjoy this world that I've made. This is my 4-year-old son. He added all these happy guests. And this is the castle that I built with him. Oh, someone broke this. That's why it looks kind of funny. But yeah, that is the current update. My wife also needs more than just a working vehicle. She needs a place to sleep and live, and right now they're in a temporary hotel setting, and that's just not the place to be for them. And it would make me feel better to know that they are in a better place. And sure, I'm happy enough walking around in the middle of the night. I'll get a job eventually. I'll be able to have my own apartment, but I want them to be safe and secure. And yeah, that is my desire, and this is my fun world. So thank you for watching.